Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video. So I was thinking when I had to film like today, I was like going through different kind of ideas and I was like, you know what? I mainly do hauls and like wrap-ups, TBRs and tag videos on my channel. I haven't really done anything like really creative, and this is not creative though, but I just wanted to do something that's a little bit different. This has definitely been seen on other YouTube channels, that's not it, but it has not been seen on my channel before. And that's going to be 10 bookish facts about me. And I know there is like one out there where it's like 25, but I can seriously not come up with a 25 bookish facts about me, so I decided just to cut it down to 10. And I thought that's quite fun to see actually, because it's always fun to like know the YouTubers that you watch a bit more when it comes to like the facts about them, like when they read and stuff. I really thought it was fun, and so I sat down yesterday and wrote down 10 facts about me that are book related. And this is like not a tag necessarily, but obviously feel free to do it if you also want to do it. But I definitely wrote them down on some piece of paper, so yes. So fact number 1 is I always lay on my stomach when I read at home. I obviously, when I'm out and stuff like that, I don't lay on my stomach, but when I'm home, I only lay on my stomach and read for some sort of reason that's easier. I tend to, like, I don't have a chair, first of all, but my bed is like, my neck starts to hurt and all of that when I sit up and read, so I just prefer laying on my stomach. That works perfect for me. Okay. Fact number 2, I actually tend to find it a lot easier for me to read when I'm on public transport than when I'm at home. And I think the main reason is because at home there's so many like things that can distract me. Like, I have a TV, Netflix, there's just so many other things that I can do, and it's not that I don't like reading, but I also tend to do those things instead. But when I'm in like on a train or in a bus or in a car, I just tend to find it easier to read because there's not that much else I can do. And yeah. Fact number 3, I love drinking coffee while I read, but I never do it. I definitely don't do it enough. Mainly I drink coffee in the morning before school and I don't read at that point. Sometimes I do have a cup of coffee like at night, and then I tend to read like while I drink my coffee. That's something I love. I love doing it, but I just don't do it enough, I feel like. Fact number 4, I always set goals for myself when I read every single day, because otherwise I don't really feel like I'm getting nowhere, and I always feel like if I set a goal for myself, I really like push myself to reach it, and then I'm closer to finishing the book. Like, I always say when I start a book, I definitely want to read the first 50 pages, and if I can read more, which I mostly can, I'll do that, and then the other day maybe, okay, you have to read to page 120. So I always like set goals for myself, so it's easier for me to get through the book. Fact number 5, I have a huge weakness for children books. I tend to buy a lot of them. I own a few and I just love them because, I don't know, sometimes I'm just in the mood to read like just something nice and doesn't really have any problems. There's mainly not really any love and like a love triangle, or just in general like a romance between anyone really in children's book. It's just fun, and it's hard to explain, but it's just nice. That's it. Fact number 6 is I love reading nonfiction books. I have an entire shelf with just nonfiction books, and I just in general love nonfiction. I find it super interesting, and I especially enjoy reading about World War II. I find that really interesting, and also North Korea. But I do also own other sorts of nonfiction books. I have a lot of books about, I have memoirs, I have a book about transgender history, I have a book about, what is it called, serial killers. And I have a lot of different kind of books, and I find it really interesting to read about a lot of different kind of stuff like around in the world. Fact number 7, I can't listen to music while I read. And sometimes I'm lucky that I can listen to instrumental music, but I cannot read while listening to music with lyrics because I will get way too distracted by the lyrics, so that does not work for me. Fact number 8, and you guys will probably be like in the comments like, oh my god, what is wrong with you, Sophie? But I have never read the Harry Potter series. And I remember when I was really young, I tried to read the first book, but I was not really a bookworm, and that's also like over 8 years ago, so, but I was not really a bookworm, and it was just, it was not that I didn't like it, I think, I just was not really into it at that point. I was also not very old, but I don't think you have to be old to read it, but I don't know, it's just not my thing at that point. I have watched the movies though, and I love the movies actually, so it's not that I don't think I would like the books, I just haven't sit down and tried to start them yet. Maybe I should, I probably should, at some point I will do it. I will do it at some point. I will. Fact number 9, and this is probably not, like, this is not something new. My favorite trilogy is The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare, and if you have been on my channel for some time, you guys know that I always tend to go back to The Infernal Devices. Like, when there's a tag video and I have to choose something, The Infernal Devices. My favorite trilogy is just The Infernal Devices. And fact number 10, and also the last fact, is that I personally tend to buy a lot of books based on the readings and the covers without actually knowing what it's about at all. And you'll probably also recognize that in my book hauls. Like, I tend to have a lot of books where I cannot even explain what they're about because I have maybe just watched a YouTuber talking about it and they liked it, and I'm like, okay, then I'll probably also like it. Or the ratings are really good and something like that, or the cover is absolutely gorgeous, and then I just buy it and not even knowing what it's about. I have been really lucky so far that I have enjoyed the books, but you never know, there will probably be a book or two that I don't like at some point because it was not something for me. For example, there's a lot of hype about this new book that I cannot pronounce, but it's apparently, I think it's a science fiction book, and that's not really something I read, so it'll be really interesting to see if I like it. And it's not Gemina, it's another book, like really new book I think, or then it's just because there's been a lot of hype about it recently. Okay, whatever, I definitely ordered it and I don't even know if it's something for me, but I was just like, okay, let's just give it a try at least. So those were 10 facts about me. Feel free to comment down below if you can agree on anything or if you totally disagree with anything. That's also an option, obviously. That was it for this video, and stay tuned, there will be a new video on Wednesday. So I will talk to you guys later in my next video. Bye!